I'm Devaa Haley Mitchell.
And I'm Elaine Kelly-Ladoughty. Welcome.
We welcome you to our inner sanctum. This is actually the temple that is in my home, and really wanted to invite you into this space today as a place of sanctuary in the midst of what is happening in the world, which is so intense with all that's going on right now, with the tsunamis that have been hitting in Japan, and obviously the radiation fallout that's coming from there, as well as the reverberations in so many different parts of the world. It's definitely a time of real intensity and devastation on our planet.
And Devaa, as I know we've been speaking about this morning, is that I've been talking to people over the last few days, and there's a number of different reactions that I've had myself, and others are telling me about, in terms of being shocked, wanting to run away, wanting to just hide from it. It's not in my backyard, not knowing how to deal with it, feeling overwhelmed. And I think that this is a time that we really need to join together and have practices and ways to metabolize the sheer intensity of what's happening on the planet. And I know for myself, there's been a number of ways that I've been dealing with this personally and counseling others to do so. And so we want to offer some of that to our community, our community here today.
So we've done a few recent calls where we've offered some practices that are really helpful. On a recent invitational call, we really worked with a practice of Tonglen, which is a Buddhist practice of breathing in the pain and the suffering into our hearts, allowing it to metabolize through our being, and then visualizing breathing out the love. And we'll be sending that out later this week for those that weren't a part of that call. But working with that simple practice but very profound practice is one way that we really encourage people to work with what's going on. On the most recent call with Barbara Marks Hubbard, for those of you who joined us, you'll know that we were working with metabolizing the fear that gets in our bodies, that gets activated, and how can we really just breathe into our bodies, feel all that's there, and then welcome in a sense of embrace as a way to be moving through and, as we say, metabolize all that's coming up right now.
So it's also our intention to offer some support today. And so one of the things that I've been doing, Devaa, is I have been watching a lot of the imagery that's coming from Japan and just allowing myself to take it in and to be affected. And then at some point I've set a limit and said, okay, enough is enough right now. And instead of just trying to avoid them, what's happening, to feel the feelings that come up. And last night especially, I watched a lot of imagery that really was very difficult for me to see. And I gave myself space to cry. I went and lit candles on the altar, and then I asked my partner and I said, what can we do? What's an inspired action right now? We need to do something. And so they had researched online and found that if we made a donation to the Red Cross and Go Global, two funds that are really on the ground right now, that they would double the donation that we made last night. And so we went ahead and did that. And at least I felt like there was some way in which there was an inspired action to take. So I'm curious. I know you've also been.
Yeah, I mean, this video is one offering. Right. We also set up some temple space yesterday and held vigil at 4 o'clock, which I know you're continuing to do.
I'll be continuing to do that every day through this next week at least.
As a way to bring ourselves energetically together with our prayers, with our intentions, sending love. I also watched the images and then just was sending love and blessings and prayers to that. And then also talking with people about it in my community, in my family, has been another way to move through it. And I love the inspired actions you're talking about, and we're looking at doing some of that as well.
So one of the inspired actions that we're asking you to do is to join us in community, and to just really, if you feel this calling, to be able to be part of one consciousness that is seeking to transmute the pain of the life that we're living, and really be able to put that into a context where we can stay present and conscious as we walk through our world. Then we have this offering, which is the Sacred Practices course, which begins next Wednesday on March 23rd. So this is our heartfelt invitation to you yet again to, if it's a calling for you, to come on board and join us and create this community with us.
If you feel you could really use some extra support right now, and knowing that grounding in sacred practices is one of the most important ways for us to really show up fully, not overwhelmed, but peaceful, calm, in the light of all that's going on, so we can truly be of service. We know that practices and this course will really support you. So if you feel the call and you're part of our global sisterhood, please join us on soulfulwomen.com.
Blessings to you all.
Blessings.